Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at the KV2, a tank we haven't had a look at for a very long time, and there's a reason for that, to be honest. The reason is the tank is utter shit. Yes, the tank is just so bad now. Wargaming broke it. Like, why? I don't know why Wargaming nerfed this tank a while ago. They nerfed this tank to the ground. The logic behind it, I just have no idea why they would do it. And it was just like, at the time, it was like, guys, we're going to nerf the HE on this thing because it's not fair that tanks get one-shotted. Yes, then and then the Smasher's still there. This was while the Smasher was released as well. Like, hang on a minute. You nerf the HE because it's too overpowered and it can one-shot tanks whilst you have a Smasher. Okay then. Makes no sense. And what Wargaming did was just, it's boring. This tank is boring. I don't know why anyone would want to play this tank. Maybe, just maybe, they nerfed it so people would try gamble on crates to get the Smasher. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe that is a way. Maybe they're like, right guys, if those people that love playing the KV2, it was once the most played tank in the game. Yes, that is right. And maybe even today, it could even still be up there in the all-time most played tank in the game. And it wouldn't surprise me. It's definitely up there in the top 3. Even though they nerfed it a year, maybe a year ago, maybe even longer. It is still probably one of the most played tanks in the game. But not now. I mean, well, saying that, you still see it. You still, when you're playing tier 6, there is always one there. But the tank is just not the same anymore. Yes, you can still have good games, but you used to be able to, if you come up against the KV2, in a KV2, you could just shoot the turret ring and you're dead. Now, you can't even do that. You can't one-shot a KV2 unless you come up behind it. Then there's only a certain number of tanks you can kind of one-shot. Now, when you come up against tier 7, there is a lot of tanks that you just cannot pen with HE. You have to splash them. And I just think that's useless. I think that's absolutely useless. That was the whole fun in the tank. And I think what made it worse is when update 5.5 came, they took away the T150 and from the tech tree, and they made the KV2 that you have to grind it. If you want to get to the KV4 or the KV3, you have to go by the KV2, which sucks, which really does suck. It used to be an add-on. The KV2 used to be an add-on. So when you grind the KV2, you literally, it leads to no other tank. You just grind it, and back then it was fun tank to play. Double KV2, there was no Smasher, so there was no other tank like the KV2. Where now so many people have the Smasher. So many people have the Smasher. No one wants to play this. I mean, that game you've just seen was my first battle in the KV2 in such a long time, because why would I sit there and say, you know what, let's go play a KV2 when I have a Smasher, which is 10 times better. It has better penetration, it has better DPM, it has everything. I know it's a tier higher, but you're coming up against tier 8 and you still prefer to play it. The only good thing about the KV2 is coming up against tier 5s with no armor, like the Leopard, and maybe the tier 6 VK2801 and the T37 or other light tanks. But I mean, coming up against heavy tanks, the AP pen, just like the Smasher, is still bad. Now, that was a nice shot. That was a nice shot. This is actually a really good game. So even though the tank is bad, and the tank is bad, you can still have good games. Of course you can. You can have good games in any tank. So I don't want you to watch this battle and then think, Meaty, what are you talking about? You're talking shit. Look at that guy. He just did this amount of damage. Well, of course people can still do that amount of damage. But for me, it's just not the same tank anymore. Now, one of my first right tank, wrong gun episodes, which I still need to do another episode, to be honest, it's been a while. One of my first episodes was the KV2 using the other gun. Now, I think, to be honest, that is all this tank is good for now. Go play it with the 120mm or the 122mm, whatever gun it is, because it has better penetration, it has better DPM, the reload's a lot quicker. Because this is just, if you own a Smasher, then you may as well play the KV2 with the other gun. There is no point playing it with this. You're just going to be frustrated. I mean, the reload is longer than the Smasher. The accuracy is worse than a Smasher. The penetration, of course, is much worse than the Smasher. And using the KV2, you're just going to find yourself using the premium AP more than anything else. Or you're just going to do splash damage with the HE. That's not fun. That really isn't fun. And I just, to this day, I just don't understand why Wargaming nerfed the HE on this tank. They've just made it into a bad tank that occasionally you can have fun. Now, I wonder, watching this guy here play this battle, I wonder how many battles it took him to have a game like this. And you have to have the enemy that shows the side, shows the rear, and really just the bad team in general. Obviously, yes, you could do shots like that. Of course, one shot an LTTB. Of course, you can still do that, but it's just a rare occasion now. It is just a rare occasion. And honestly, guys, like, I don't see the point in the tank anymore unless you're grinding with the KV3. I just don't see any reason now to play the KV2, and that sucks. That really does suck, because it is one of the most iconic tanks in the game. People love the tank, or they loved the tank, and it's a shame to see Wargaming destroy it like they did. It really is. We used to, back in the day, like back sort of 3-4 years ago, it was all KV2. Like, if you want to go have fun, you go play the KV2 with this gun. Now this gun is just a nightmare. It really is. But enough of that. We're going to talk about the rest of this battle. I mean, he has a really good battle. He really does have a good battle. RNG was completely on his side. So he's now on 4.4k damage. There is still 2 tanks left. He's on 4 kills. KV2 nice, says the Bulldog. Thank you for noticing how well he's played. You don't see that very often either. So there's just 2 tanks left. He is a 1. KV2 won a mastery for sure. Even the Dracula, yeah, they are all talking about how well this KV2 is doing. He's won a mastery for sure. Like, they are so nice people. There are some nice people in the community after all. So unfortunately, just not enough. Gets lucky here with the SU, manages just to get the kill before the SU can turn, and that is now his 5th kill, leaving just the T29. But he does have to be very careful because he is a one-shot. Don't know what his TD is doing, but he needs to be very careful. The T29 is not really a tank you want to come up against whilst you're in a KV2. Unless you can get the rear of the T29, it has great armor. And really, you're only really going to do splash damage to the tank unless you switch to the premium AP. Now, like I've said, like the Smasher, the the normal AP on this tank, like the Smasher, really does suck. You can see there that was a troll track, and now he's on sort of a 21-22 second reload. So I've seen a lot of people, and it's happened to me because of the reload on the tank. I've seen a lot of people have one shot and then miss their shot, and then that's it for them. He gets very lucky there indeed. His SU is still in the spawn, like God knows what he was doing. So a very nice carry from Brig N716 there, 5.3k damage. So that is it, guys. That is the KV2, gone but not forgotten. You know, I just wished it was the same tank it was a few years ago, but sadly it's not. It's all about the Smasher now. So rip KV2. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye. With